Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tony Fergie. I want to welcome all my subscribers, the old ones, the new ones, the ones that just keeps coming back because you love what you hear. Guys, I have a video to share to y'all. I hope y'all see the spiritual awakening happening from the Caribbean to Africa, from the diaspora to Africa. Y'all got to get ready now. I keep telling y'all, if y'all don't listen to me and get ready, who will you listen to? Anyways, y'all, please enjoy this video. Let's come back and talk about it.
We came into the Caribbean islands. We know that the slave trade disconnected, disjoined, destroyed many families. Inasmuch as I listen to the cries of the people here on the island, we cannot forget also the pain of the mothers, the fathers, and the brothers who remained on mainland. Mothers whose children were taken away, fathers who lost their wives, brothers who lost their sisters, and the entire communities that were destabilized. So the first group we need to remember in our prayers are the parents who were traumatized by losing their loved ones. The next group of people we look at are those that perished at sea in the transatlantic trade, who were thrown overboard to feed the sharks on the Atlantic Ocean, who never received any decent burial, whose bones lie at the belly of the Indian and the Atlantic and the Mediterranean Ocean, and whose spirit continuously rover on the face of the earth. And thirdly, we look at those that arrived on the mainland who are still alive right now in the islands, in the Dominican, in Haiti, in Jamaica, St. Lucia, Curacao, Tahiti, British Islands, and the rest of the other islands, the Bahamas, in the south right here. I come here and I come in peace to commemorate the loss of the continent to its manpower and its grandchildren. As we do in our African culture, when someone has died in a land that is afar, then what we do is that we collect a branch of a tree and we go to the place where they have died, and then we speak to the branch, and then we say to the branch, we are now transporting you back home together with the box, and then we transport them back home. So in remembrance of that commemoration, I will cut a branch here in the Jamaican and the Caribbean island, which I'll bring with me back to mainland, and then we will bury the branch back on mainland as a commemoration and a remembrance that the children that were here that were never buried properly, and the souls and the spirits of those that remain wandering in lands afar, who badly wanted to get back home. We will therefore do a small little ceremony for them here to see if we can begin the spiritual transportation of these back to mainland. And we hope that the movement of their spirits back to mainland will begin the great exodus of the Africans that are in the islands who want to come back home. The issues of the visas, the immigration laws, the scandals of borders, they will need to fall. My visit into the Caribbean has also shown me that the division of the African continent into countries is the same thing that also happened in the islands. They were also divided into countries, meaningless countries being controlled by the French, controlled by the British, controlled by the Dutch, the Spanish, and the Portuguese, and broken down into meaningless borders, each one of them with a small little currency that is worth nothing. And they think that by dividing these countries, each one of them being called a democratic or a republic, these Africans who are here would realize genuine peace. Alas, it has not changed. The colonization of Africa and the colonization of the islands is the same. Keep Africans away from each other. To culminate it all, and then immigration issues and poor communication channels between Africa and the islands. If you want to come to the Caribbean, you must go through Brazil, you must go through Europe, you must go through America to get to the islands. And when you go to any of these countries, you need visas. I had to get a visa into Brazil, a visa into Panama, a visa into Jamaica. I got stuck when I tried to connect flights in Grenada, and no, not Grenada, in Dominica. And you need lots of red taping. It's time that Africa and the Caribbean islands, we establish a common transportation route so that the children that are in Africa can come to the islands. The children that are in the islands can go back to Africa. We need transport. Number one, just to start with, we need to organize transportation. Business people that are out there that have potential and capacity, there is a huge business opportunity if this transport can be organized. Then you are looking at the improvement of tourism. The Caribbeans coming into Africa for tourism. The Africans coming into the Caribbean for tourism. You're looking at education. The improvement of the quality of education between mainland and the islanders. As our children are studying across the oceans, the universities in the Caribbean, be it the Bahamas, be it Cuba, be it Jamaica, interacting with the universities in Africa. We want to challenge our academic institutions to begin conversations with the Caribbean universities and improve the quality of education amongst the Africans. Look at the advantage in terms of medicine. Look at the advantages in terms of cultural exchange. Our children getting married to each other. Look at the advantages of industry. When Africa is able to tap into the technology of the Caribbean and the Caribbeans can tap into the resources of Africa. Look at the business booming as the 54 countries, including the Caribbean as the 55th country, can form the Africa Union that we want, that brings these Africans together, away from the Europeans and the Americans and the Chinese. Africa needs to start a conversation of bringing ourselves together, talking to each other, working with each other, marrying each other, doing business with each other, celebrating each other, having sports with each other. This is the Africa that we want. The last 100 years has seen the division of Africa into Europe, into Asia, into Middle East, and into the West. The transformation of this dispensation speaks of the unity of the African children beginning to come together, talking together, putting aside political divides, putting aside ethnic divides, putting aside language divides. I am Spanish, I am French, I am British, I am Portuguese. Who cares whether you are British, you are Spaniard, or you are French? Are we not Africans who have been divided by language? Putting aside the divisions of currency, Africa can begin to speak with one financial voice, one academic voice, one passport voice, one military voice, one medical voice. And as we begin to look at our skin, the melanated people, there is no better time for us to begin the African conversation. Our African presidents need to start talking in this fashion. Stop talking about nationalization. Start talking about Africanization. When Africans can come together under one nation, Africa, our motherland. So we are here today to remember that the Africans that are in the Caribbean, the Africans that died at sea, the Africans that are on mainland, we are one people. And we send our prayers today to the entire African continent. As we are talking right now, there are people that are praying in the European space. There are prayers that are going on right now in Ghana and in Northeast Africa. There are prayers that are going on mainland in South Africa. There are prayers happening right now in the Caribbean to the unity of the African nation, far and wide, remembering our roots as African. There is no better time than now, when every African must see another African as a brother, as a sister, as a father, as a mother. We are all one nation, divided by the colonial system. It's high time we put aside the clothes of the night and put on the clothes of the day. The sun is shining upon us. It's time for a new dispensation, that Africa should begin to consider her own problem, ask her own questions, and find her own answers. There's no glory in small little countries that are constantly being sodomized by the colonial system. It's time that Africa should begin to come together, talk together, work together, sing together, play together, heal each other around the whole continent and beyond. My name is Maponga J. Garamboko Garamashamba Huda.
What did you guys think? See, I keep telling y'all, atmosphere's changed. Not changing, it has changed. Did you guys realize that Joshua Mopongo brought a piece of wood tree from Jamaica to bring back, to return the ancestors to Africa soil? You guys did not hear me. You did not hear me. Did you hear what he said? Did you guys hear the drums beating in the background? So they were getting everything ready for him. The drums and the sounds in the background of his video. It sounds like they were probably at some kind of riverside, because I see the woods in the background, and everywhere in Jamaica there's river, and everywhere in Jamaica there's a lot of trees. Africa, they call it forests. Guys, you people are not ready, oh. You people are not ready, oh. I'm telling you. Listen, y'all, just get yourselves ready. That's just for those who consider themselves children of Africa and who are ready to touch their feet on the soil of Africa, because not everybody is on the same page, and that's all right. That's okay. You can stay. That's fine. But for those, of us that are ready, thank you, Joshua Mopongo. Thank you. We've had many visitors from Africa visit Jamaica. Some of them do whatever they're doing and is hidden. But this, our Joshua Mopongo, has made it come to light. And y'all, we can't do nothing else but thank him. Because now he has bring together that gap. Did you guys remember the woman that was cleaning Woodmeier's feet? What she said? She said, they left us here and they forgot us. Can you imagine? And she was from the Charles village out there in Jamaica. And I cannot believe, when she was washing his feet, she said, they left us here and they forgot us. Who else is she talking about but Africa? Nobody ever come back to see where we were, come back to visit to see who and what and where. But then how can Africa come back to get us if they themselves were in bondage? Because everything was divided up in 1885, 1884? So they couldn't come back and get us. But the time is now. Now. Not to that time. Because we don't know what would have happened to us then. But the fighters that they took from there and they brought here, y'all, let's come together. Let's pray for brothers and sisters who their bones are in the bottom of the ocean because they never made it over. Or sisters and brothers who were killed without even having children. Their seeds remain there. It's so much. It is so much. And I also saw my brothers from Jamaica by the Kenya mountain. Oh, guys, you guys have to see these things and know what's going on. They're making that way, that transition is happening, is happening, is happening. Abantu, get yourselves ready, because we know who we are. Not the ones that are blinded, not the ones that are still sleeping, but the shift had begun. The new world has begun. And it's for those who can see it, can feel it, can experience it, and know what time it is. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for coming back. You know that Tony loves and appreciates y'all. And know that I got more stuff coming up for y'all. Have a wonderful day.